Baby, this your back. You dey make me shiver. I'ma bring the problem. Come and give me fever. And
according to the African tradition, he who brings cola brings life. And the cola is here with us today now. Where we share with my guests and people around fulfillment of what the tradition says, and we're inviting the spirit of our ancestors to take charge of what we are doing here, and the guidance of the Almighty God to bless us with wisdom and to lead us in the right path and help to build and reconcile our nation as a people. So we break this cola and share the peace that it generates for us. Thank you.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Austin. For those who don't know you, can you introduce yourself properly, your full names, so that people who see this interview will know who we are talking to and the position you are holding in the Nigerian Union?
Good evening to you, fellow Nigerian. My name is Austin Okuruga. I'm currently the president of the Nigerian Union in Sweden. The organization that we have that encompasses several other organizations here in Sweden, which is an umbrella organization that many Nigerians should identify themselves with. So I've been in the organization for as long as I can remember anyway. So yes, I said I'm currently leading the organization now. And
you have been a member of the Nigerian Union for how many years?
If I am not wrong, I would say for somewhere around 24 years.
24 years?
Yeah, somewhere around there. I didn't really have this in my memory because I came in there spontaneously despite the oppositions that I got from my peers and friends and things like that. I stumbled into the organization and I never regretted it.
Okay. So, but now you are the president.
That's correct.
How long have you been the president?
Well, I was between 2006 and 2008, which is 2 years. I was the president of the union. Then the organization had a little bit of issues then. So after that, someone else, we had an election which was not ratified, kind of like that. So I took a break between 2008 and 2000. I'm very sorry if I'm not quoting correctly now. 2014 or so,
Okay.
Now we're so it's
But
like that. But
in other words, you've been president twice now.
Yes, this is my second
It's
time.
your second time.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. How many years is a tenure?
Yes, constitutionally it's 1 year. Every year you hold an election, but the president can be re-elected. There is no time limit, the number of times.
Okay. So a president can go for more than 10 years if they keep re-electing him.
Yes, yeah. Hopefully, if the president is doing what the constitution says and is working well, then of course he can, as it is today now, constitutionally, which of course is also a living document, you can amend if you think it's not good enough. But as it is today, yes, you can be re-elected as many times as possible.
Okay. Now, as the president of the Nigerian Union, Sweden, tell us the difference between this time as a president and the previous time you were president. Are there so much differences you've observed?
Well, yes. as time changes, so do things. Yeah, there are changes, but it depends on how you will categorize that kind of change, whether it's positive or not. What I can recall is that during my the first period I was heading the organization, then we had rather Nigerians who were, yes, we had some numbers of people who were enthusiastic about the union. I wanted to participate and things like that, but today things are changing a little bit. We have the social media, which we think we should have avail ourselves more of, but it has really not been the best side of the organization. We have not been able to register our presence in the social media, something as we should have done. And one thing that has remained very constant is what I would call the lukewarm attitude of a lot of Nigerians. They are not really easily swayed into participation in ideal organizations.
Okay, that brings to mind the question of the day. What really does the Nigerian Union as an organization do for Nigerians? People want to know what the organization can do for them.
Maybe I should delve a little bit on the concept of the organization itself. Like I mentioned before, this is an ideal organization, which in concept means that there is no really viable financial input that is coming in. So the inputs that we get are the annual fee that are generated from members, which directly means that the more we are in number, the more we have this. So that number, I will not say we can really boast about today, but nonetheless, the people who are carrying the union today in various capacities, these are patriotic and well-informed Nigerians who are willing and ready within their own capacity, able to extend help to people and things like that. But I want us to clarify the fact that belonging to a union or organization because you are going to benefit something, maybe material benefit, it might be it's a little bit myopic to think like that, because the very main purpose of coming there is because you are going to have what do you call it, an avenue to belong to a place which in one way or the other is going to be beneficial to you. It is only that it's a bit difficult to sell this message to people who are still within some certain realms of their lives. I can count numbers of occasions, help, and things that we have extended to Nigerians. If you want me to, then we pay solidarity visit. We have given financial support to as many people as possible, and the people who need these things, we have intervened in defense of Nigerians that have been unfairly treated in this country. We have registered our displeasures to the various ways Nigerians all over the world have been brutalized in one way or the other. I can recall in 2017, myself and a couple of other patriotic Nigerians, at least Nigerians who have this awareness of what the purpose of being an organization means. We went to demonstrate at the Libyan embassy in the cold December of 2017. We were there demonstrating against the brutalities Nigerians were being subjected to when they are en route to Europe. they are kidnapping Libya and brutalized all sorts of or whatever crimes that you can name. They were subjected to them, you know. So we did all these things. I recall also 2 years later, in 2019, we also have this problem in South Africa. This is a country that Nigeria was at the forefront of during the days of the struggle, you know, to set the country free from the tentacles of brutalities under the unhappy regime of apartheid, you know. So then things started to change. Nigerians became the target in the streets of Johannesburg and other suburbs, which I think many people are aware. Again, I called the union, gathered Nigerians. We were at the embassy here in Stockholm of the South African government. We registered our displeasure. We protested, held the manifestos, and I think it was the Charge d'Affaires that was available there. He met us, and we gave a historical perspective of the relationship between Nigeria and South Africa. So fierce what it was Nigerian government against the apartheid South Africa, then that the government of Nigeria was threatened, you know, for fighting so hard to set South Africa free. So it became very ironic that we have to come to South Africa embassy to demonstrate against the same oppression we fought against. Yes, we've been doing a little bit of one or two things for the benefit of Nigerians, Africans at large. I mean, for humanity, just to put it mildly.
Yeah. Okay, there is this controversy going on about who or which organization is the number one organization when it comes to Nigerians in the diaspora. If it is the Nigerian Union or NIDO. Can you please clarify to us?
Well, I will say that there is a proverb that I know. It says that it doesn't matter if the color of the cat is black or if it is white, provided it catches the mouse. You know, so it doesn't really matter the acronyms, the names, whatever it is that a body is assuming, as long as you are doing something that is beneficial to the Nigerian people, then it's good. So the NIDO, I have had the opportunity to be there on some certain occasion during the chairmanship of one of the chairmen then of the organization, as a way of supporting him, because I know it is not easy to run an organization of bringing people together. You understand? So, but I saw ideological difference between the Nigerian Union and the NIDO. You understand? So that is it. But if the NIDO is doing something transparently that is beneficial to the people of Nigerians, I have no quarrel with that, you know. But if in the couple of in those occasions when I was there, I quickly saw that you know, it's like, let me put it like this: if you are a parent to some children, and maybe you choose one child and say, "Come, my son, you are my son. I want you to be telling me what the other children are doing, you know, who is respecting or obeying me and who is not obeying me. You should be reporting them to me. You are my son." So in doing that, you have divided them into categories: son in-house and the other children outside, you know. So that is the situation which I think we see today. Nigerian problem in Europe, in America, all over the world is the same thing. We are struggling to take the space that belongs to us. We are struggling to have a space under the sun, you know. So if you are not having, maybe the government is now choosing one organization over the other, in order, then it means that the purpose is not for the benefit of Nigeria. It may look like a dog, but if it doesn't walk like a dog, it doesn't play like a dog, then it's not a dog, you know. So we have a different ideological makeup between Nigerian Union and NIDO.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, in essence, what you're saying is, NIDO, according to their ideology, is are they supposed to be under the Nigerian Union or vice versa? Which organization should take the space at the top as the first son?
Well, you know, arranging things in a kind of how do you put it now? Arranging superiority or whatever. I wouldn't want to look it that way. But what I will tell you is that the Nigerian Union have been in existence in Sweden. I think, if I'm not wrong, the first cultural union in Sweden since in the 70s, early 70s, you know. Like, as you may know, the NIDO was instituted by a political head in late 2000 or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
So if I want to delve into that, I will tell you that a lot of Nigerians that are in Europe today, in America, wherever, all over the world, wherever we may have found ourselves, we have one thing in common, you know. We are either, I think normally a lot of us are economic migrants, you know. Yes, a lot of us, no matter how we try to define the reasons why we're everywhere. As far as I can see, Nigeria is a diverse country of ethnic, religion, and whatever, all those things. So that, even that word, NIDO itself, is under, you have to really define it if it actually suits our definition as migrants in Europe, you know, because I cannot say now that we are religiously harmonized, ethnically harmonized, ideologically harmonized, that, like, as you will say, usually, like maybe the Jews during the World War, they were scattered as a result of, they say they were persecuted. You talk about the Jews, you understand? They are harmonized by their religion and their race, if I should use that word. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to say, one of the reasons why we are in Europe, some of us, most of us, is because of the bad government in our countries. You understand? So, if the country was taking care of the citizens in the way they should be, maybe you and I, well, some of us here would have been kings and queens in our countries, you know. So for a political leader, one of the reasons why we all got scattered all over the places, now coming to institutionalize an organization for Nigerians again in Europe, in America, and tell us, oh, we should behave this way, then it becomes a suspicious creation, I will call it.
Okay, let's leave that at that. Nigerians in Sweden or in Scandinavia are currently grappling with the recent hike in the service charges when they want to renew passports, get new passports, or anything that relates to consular services. And I know that the Nigerian Union, Sweden, the Nigerian Union, Finland, Nigerian Union, Norway, and I think Iceland and Denmark had a meeting recently to confront the current ambassador of Nigerians to Sweden. How did that go? We didn't see the finality of that. People would like to know.
Yes, thank you for that question. As I'm sitting with you now, I will tell you that we have drafted a memorandum that we're going to send to the embassy. You see, like I told you before, if you're a parent and you are choosing among your children, then you are not trying to harmonize your family. That is it. You see. So, in one of the forums which I was invited to, I quickly saw that what they were discussing is almost the subject that you took up now. Oh, NIDO should lead everybody to this thing. I said, but we, Nigerian Union, has been fighting against this passport racketing in the present form. If the government, or let's say the embassy of Nigerian Federation in Sweden is functioning well, we wouldn't even have any need to hold a meeting like this. The reason we are holding the meeting is because there have been series and series of allegations leveled against the embassies. How they, in one way or the other, are cooperating with outside people, employees of the embassies, you know, who have heard from many people have to pay exorbitant prices to get the passport, to obtain them. So in an ideal world, we will say that this is wrong. Why is it like that? The passport of Nigerian people belongs to the Nigerian people. If there is what do you call it, an official fee to be paid, the account that the fee should be paid into should be made public, and people should be able to do that payment, and the passport should be made obtainable to the recipient as at when it is due. Why do we have to rigmarole? Why do we have to make a shortcut? Why do we have to approach the ambassador in a special way? Like I've heard people said, oh, if we are polite enough, if we are like this, maybe we are going to. I mean, this only happens in Nigeria. We have the extension of the Nigerian government is the embassy that we have here. It's supposed to be the house for every Nigerians. Why do we have to be special in a way in order to be able to approach it? So when I saw that, they said that the embassy listens to NIDO, because they say the NIDO itself is registered in the embassy there too. So it speaks for itself that there is an organization. An organization is being promoted. So I mean, I don't want to be a party to things like that. So we have a track record of documenting our relationship with the embassy, all the things that we have, cooperation that we have had. We have had it, and everything that we have done for the benefit of Nigeria, I can produce them when you ask for them. You know, it is now up to the embassy to exercise their authority, to discharge their work as at the Constitution mandates them to do. Anything outside of that is illegal.
Yes. Thank you for clarifying that, because that has been on our minds, as in a lot of people have been wondering why the Nigerian Union has not taken a step to ask the embassy to bring down the prices. So as it stands now, the new service charges still obtains. When people go to the embassy for any consular services, they pay this extra cost, and it is highest in Sweden.
Yes,
because our findings show that other countries pay lesser, and we've also found that the Nigerian Union has been fighting this with the previous ambassador when the price was even half the price now. But immediately this new ambassador came in, the price doubled instead of going down. Where do you think the solution lies in this problem? How do you think Nigerians are to follow this? Is there going to be a protest, or we just take it lying low?
You see, I'm very grateful to you for pointing out that during the tenureship of the previous ambassador that we have actually tabled this issue.
Yes, because I was there even when Igwe was asking the charge d'affaires during the protest to fix a date for a meeting to table this issue, because the ambassador then, Ambassador Ilu Musa Mohammed, had given them mandate to have a meeting, and then he gave a date for them to come in 2 weeks' time. only for Ambassador Ilu Musa to all of a sudden move back to Nigeria, and we get a new ambassador, who is Ambassador Haman. And upon coming into office, the service charges increased. So we are confused. We are thinking that he's ill-advised, or people around him made him increase the price. We don't know yet. So we want the Nigerian Union to confront the embassy and give us an answer. At least let the Nigerian Union tell us what the embassy is saying as regards this particular service charge problem.
Yes, I really recognize the situation as you have aptly described it. You see, the problem with it does not even stop with the case of the passport. Just name anything. We have had series of meetings, not just with Ambassador Musa Mohammed alone. Previous Ambassador Madam Undem before Mohammed. Then we have Ambassador Good News Gali. At the time, I can name several ambassadors. We have talked about this issue of passport, that it has been unfair. You know, you can peg the price of the passport so Nigerians they can afford it. The problem has even become more complicated, because even when the prices have increased, it is still difficult for you to obtain the passport. You have to cut corners. You have to pass through several channels in order for you to obtain this thing. And that is what I am saying. Because when you look at it, after we have drafted our memorandum and things like that, and people start, some people, as they started to hear from some quarters, and maybe the Nigerian NIDO should head this organization or things, head this meeting and go there and whatever. But we have a historical attachment to the, and we have a track record of what we have been doing. Why must it now go through the NIDO? Oh, they say because NIDO have a special way of talking to their ambassadors and relating with them. They have a special relationship. Then you can see what I mean. But when I say that, when the parents have children, choosing one, the purpose is not to harmonize. You understand? The purpose is to create division among them. That is why we have not been successful in this way. Ambassador Gale left. Madam Ambassador Undem, she left without doing anything about it, without our complaint. Now we have Ilu Mohammed, he himself left too, sporadically. The present ambassador has not even written to the Nigerian Union to say that he is here, but I heard that Naidu have been there to meet with him. I don't have quarrel with Naidu or with any of these things or whatever it is, but you see, the concept of life is very simple. If you are a patriotic human being, if you love your country, you love what you are doing, if you are getting a certain result that you don't like, after trying some certain times over and over again, I mean, the common human wisdom dictates that you have to change your strategy to get a different result that you desire. But what we are doing in Sweden or wherever, what most Nigerians, what I see, is like we are helping to maintain the status quo. Ambassador comes in, he goes. You know, he comes, he goes. Like that, chains of circular movement over and over again. That is what they call maintenance of a status quo. And you see, if you are a politician and you are not really interested in the welfare of your people, then you are a very good what do you call it? You are a lover of status quo. You want it to remain like that. You want people to feel that they are busy, they are achieving something. But when you actually give a critical vision into it, you see that nothing is being achieved. So we are where we are today because a common simple thing that is concerning you, me, and every Nigerian it has been hijacked. It has been hijacked. So that is why you will hear, maybe some people will tell you, oh, well, Nigerian embassy, Nigerian union, they quarrel with, but we don't even, we are not supposed to be quarreling. If you say the price of the passport is now $2,000, let it be stated, let it be that $2,000. It shouldn't be that Mr. A paid 2,000 and Mr. B paid 3,500. Mr. C suddenly paid 100. You see, the problem we are having in our motherland, Nigeria, is what we are exporting to the Western world where we are today. And that is why I think we should arrest this situation and put a stop to it. We wouldn't even have needed any meeting if things were working very well. I don't know of any other Western country that the citizens of those countries will have to, do all magical things in order for them to obtain a simple passport. Only Nigerians that I know. Maybe some other African countries too, I don't know.
Okay, I will ask you this question that I asked the immediate chairperson of NIDO, and that is there a way that the Nigerian Union and NIDO can work hand in hand in order to get results for the Nigerians in Sweden and Scandinavia as a whole?
Yes, my spontaneous reaction to that is that, of course, I am very positive about that, what I just want to tell you, like I said before, it doesn't matter the color of the cat. You understand that? You see, my moral compass is very simple. You understand? I want, every spiritual scripture that I have the opportunity to peruse, I have seen that they have one thing in common. The purpose of life is that you should be happy. You generate happiness for yourself. If you are happy and you love your neighbor as you love yourself, there will be no problems. We won't have problems with one another. You understand? No matter the way, the formation of the body or these things that are going there, if we are having a genuine purpose, if we are conscious of what we are as a people, what we want to do, we are patriotic to do that something. It doesn't matter how the formula we are using. I just want honesty, transparency in doing things. If we are not honest, if we are not transparent, we are not patriotic, you can be flamboyant with whatever you have. It won't make me to impress me in any way. So a simple answer to that is yes, but let it be an honest attempt.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We will find a way around that. Now let's go back to the Nigerian Union, which you have been president for a year plus now.
Yes, I think it's approaching 3 years now.
3 years, okay.
Yeah.
So you are re-elected after the first time, this time around, and the second time this time around. And as I heard, I believe the election for the president's post, or for all official posts at the Nigerian Union, will hold very soon.
That is correct.
When precisely is that election?
Constitutionally, the elections to man the offices now of the Nigerian Union in Sweden will be held in between January to March. The reason for that is that it takes a lot of rigorous effort to be able to do it. So if you are not able to do it, because many Nigerians may have traveled to different Nigeria in December, they are tired in January. You have the buffer. You have the January, you have February, but in March things are supposed to have quieting down. So what do we now? Yes, we are targeting March. Okay. Which is constitutionally correct.
Okay. Are you going to be vying for re-election?
I wouldn't want to, actually. I wouldn't want to because, not because I'm not, I'm tired of things like that, you know. But it's also good for new hands to come in there with new ideas, you know, to get involved. And it is a very, very arduous work. It's not very easy. Today now, there are very handful of us who are carrying the union on their shoulders. Particularly, I will emphasize the secretary of the union is a father to several children, young children, and things like that. There are many more people in Sweden that have more time that would have been able to do the work that he is doing, but we are not really getting that manpower. So, in the same way, because of my love for my country, I don't want the union to just waste away like that. I am hoping that a willing candidate also will step forward, you know, and I will be a very good guardian to people like that.
Okay.
Yes, that is how it stands now.
Okay. Okay, Mr. President, you just told us that you wouldn't want to vie for a re-election for the position of the president of the Nigerian Union. But as we've seen in the past, when presidents leave office of the Nigerian Union, we no longer see them coming as regularly to the meetings as possible. Will that be the case in your situation?
You know, I have a different conviction than many other people. So my conviction about Nigerian Union in Sweden is far greater than my own personal consideration. If I were considering my personal convenience, I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be one of those who just stepped away like that, if not for maybe for any personal reason or things like that. So my hope is to be able to be around and be able to guide and to provide know-how wherever I'm called upon, you know, and be a participant as much as I can possibly be. That is my vision. Because you see, this concept of Nigerian Union is a very, very great concept. It's only that maybe we are not very good at marketing ourselves. But I have also reached a stage in my life that I realize that, you know, a good cloth doesn't need marketing. You understand? Let the potential buyers decide for themselves. If Nigerians in Sweden, of which I know to 100%, need an organization as Nigerian Union to help Nigerians wherever they are, in one way or the other, to be able to speak and act collectively when it is due. If Nigerians are beginning to recognize that we need this umbrella, we won't be suffering the way we are today. Because the root cause of psychological suffering among people that we see today is ignorance. We don't know how to approach our problem. Where every Nigerian have one thing in common. Okay, let us talk about it. We don't have water. Water doesn't work. You know, since I was born, we have been talking about that in Nigeria. Electricity, the same thing. Roads are this and this and that. I know the government cannot do everything. I know some of this rumor about stolen money, this and that, they are founded. I know, but there are also a lot of veracity in all this, all this kind of these things. But I come to a stage I have realized that every Nigerian, when they now decide within themselves that they have seen, they have recognized the call, maybe they will come and discharge the duty. So that is where we are today. Because it's very easy when you continue to preach and to talk to people about something. There is a tendency for them to suspect maybe you have an ulterior motive. You have something hidden they are not describing. But the biggest pain I have is just knowing that a lot of so many Nigerians, they are passing through pains unnecessarily, which we collectively would have been able to alleviate. But we don't have the will. It's pathetic.
Okay. What do you or would you love to be remembered for during your time as president?
Well, I don't really think that I have reached that stage I wanted to reach. Actually, you see, I just want people to be honest with what I have done. I don't need embellishment. I don't need what do you call it? Unnecessary description or things like that. But be honest. Okay. Yes, just be honest with me. And if you have any doubt, I very much welcome people to ask me, oh, why did you do it this way when you should have done this way? Be honest, because I don't believe in people really writing the history, or the history has already written itself. You understand? It is there. We are just a part of an awareness that is everywhere. It is written. So I don't believe in the history written by the victors or things like that. So I think history has already witnessed my tenureship.
Okay, let me visit this question again. If we put together a meeting between the Nigerian Union and NIDO, would you come to the meeting to discuss a way forward as regards the unnecessary increase in service charge for consular services at the Nigerian embassy?
Yes.
Your answer is yes.
Absolutely.
I will put this question forward to the NIDO chairman, and if she says yes, then we can go ahead and fix a meeting.
Yes, that is fine with me.
Okay.
Eager fire
Baby, this your back. You dey make me shiver. I'ma bring the problem. Come and give me fever. And no other party. We bad, oh. I'ma pass your party. And no other party.